support the sentiments expressed by my colleagues here, to acknowledge what the Minister has undertaken, and to point out that insofar as I can see in my time in public life, I have never seen the level of violence towards women and mothers of children than I have seen in the past couple of years, with particular reference to the past 2 years. And I think as well as there's this friction whereby the mother or the victim has to pursue the other partner for maintenance, it's a recurring factor then which brings them into contact, and the continuous barrage of abuse is really frightening. And the cases that certainly I've dealt with are worse than I have ever come across in my life.
Minister, to conclude.
Thank you, Deputies. I've said this many times and I'll say it again. I believe we're dealing with an epidemic, and I think it's in every town, village and corner of our society. I think that more women are coming forward, and again, it's mainly women. There are men, of course, victims. It's a very positive thing, and we need to be able to respond with the resources and the support. So it's not just about providing the refuge and accommodation, but it's those outreach services and supports as well. The funding in the last 4 years alone has gone from 20 million to 60 million, and that is going directly, while a small fraction last year was to establish and to set up CUAN, our new agency. The vast majority of that money is going to deliver services, to expand services, to identify the needs for new services in new areas, and I have every intention in this budget in the next week to make sure that we can expand further. In terms of Carlow Kilkenny, that work will, or in terms of the Carlow refuge, that work will start next year. So obviously I want to see it completed and concluded, but you yourself will see, and I suppose this has been the challenge in so many areas where we don't have a refuge, we're starting from the ground up. So the strategy has been to put in place a very clear structure that means whether you have a service on the ground or not, whether you have somebody that's committed to doing it or not, that the structure can be brought together to identify who will deliver the service, where can the site be, working with the local authority, how can it be rolled out, how can we get the funding in place and put the application in place. So that structure is now there, and I think now that we've put it in place, it will actually allow for the acceleration of so many of the projects that are already underway. But again, I thank Deputies for their comments.